Get Noticed coach, career strategist and government job application specialist. Welcome to my live broadcast today on why do you do what you do in the public sector. Now, before I start today, I'd like to do an acknowledgement to country. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community, and I pay respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today. Now, in this weekly live, I wanted to talk to you about why do you do what you do in the public sector, so the role that you're performing in the public sector, and why this is so important to your career marketing documents or marketing yourself and trying to land your next role. Now, if you're here live, say hi in the comments below, and if you're watching the replay, add hashtag replay in the comments. And you can also view this on my YouTube channel if for some reason it drops out here on LinkedIn, and there should be a link down below. Hello, if you're that person who is on, feel free to write something in the chat so I know that you're there. Now, let's get straight into it. Now, why do you do what you do in the public sector? Now, if someone asks me why I do what I do in terms of career marketing for public servants, I would find it really easy to talk about it and talk for ages about it because I have a purpose for what I'm doing, and that is to elevate diverse and inclusive leaders into leadership positions in the public sector so that perhaps we can see some changes in policy and procedure and processes for the public that you serve, because it's important to me that whatever decisions are made for the public are actually made by people with similar experiences. So that's my why. But often when I ask my clients, that question, why they do what they do, is really difficult for them to answer. I think a lot of people get into what they are doing because they had to go to uni, they had to go get a degree, they did something they liked, so they went off and they did whatever it was that they chose to do, and followed that as a career, and now they've ended up where they've ended up and they're not feeling fulfilled. And usually this is because they feel like they've got no purpose for what they're doing. So they're unfulfilled in an emotional way when it comes to their job. But if you know Simon Sinek, he's very famous and popular for his book, Start With Why. Have I got it here? No, I haven't, but it's here somewhere in this mess. In this bookshelf behind me, but he wasn't wrong when he said you really need to start with why when it comes to everything that you do. Now, without knowing why you do what you do in your job, it's really hard to answer questions like, what is your vision? What do you want your legacy to be? Or what will you bring to this role that no one else will? Your why can actually form the basis of the answers to those questions, whether it's marketing that as part of your personal brand in your resume or as part of your key selection criteria. Often leaders are asked those types of questions when they go to interview, and if you don't really know why you're doing what you're doing, it's really hard to have a vision for where you're going and why you want to have a particular vision for an organisation or for the public that you serve. So it's super important to actually think about, why do I do what I do? What fulfilment does it bring to me, to the organisation I work for, or to the people out in the public? And why is that important to me? Because what's important to an employer is not what you do in your job, it's how you do it and why you do it. And that is what's going to make you stand out in your applications and is also going to help you, particularly if you want to get a leadership position and you want to get a promotion, okay? You want to advance in the public sector, okay? Now, I don't have much more to say about that, but if you do have any questions about that or you really aren't sure about what your why is, I strongly suggest that you start thinking about it, because when you know why you do what you do, it's really easy to talk about it. I could talk for hours about why I do what I do, and not only talk about the skills that I bring in this role that I'm doing now, but you know, I can also talk about what I can do for people. I know the outcomes I provide, and they're directly related to that why, to that vision and my mission for why I'm doing what I'm doing. It also helps you stand for something sometimes. So think about that and think about why you're doing what you're doing and how you can actually weave that into your resume, your cover letter, and how you can advance and get a promotion in the public sector by having a really specific why, so that you can answer those questions. Now, that's the end of my live today. I do have a free download that I'm going to pop down below for you to download that will also help you advance your public sector career. And it is called The 6 Ways to Advance Your Public Sector Career and Be the Preferred Candidate for a 6-Figure Public Sector Role. So you'll get more tips around what you can do to advance your career in the public sector. So if you've been that type of person that's been going for roles and you cannot convert them to an interview, or perhaps you are going to interviews and you're not having any success, this guide will actually help you identify the things that you need to do in order to advance your public sector career. So I'll pop down a link below so that you can download that. In the meantime, have a fantastic day and I'll see you next week. Bye.